man, this
Commander.
shit goes
Do
mad
you
slow.
know what's left of people they interrogate? This is some trick, isn't it? To make me fall for you again. Well, I won't. Oh, go on then. Scurry back to your ravens. I can't stop you, but strangely, she didn't. As Renato set off to find the Farfarer, she followed him, keeping just out of sight of the ravens.
So yeah. Again, pardon the background noise. Only one sword left to make, and I need some winning essence. It'll be funny if like 3 come out the same. What the fuck, man? This game runs weird. Yeah, it's not just because I'm
Don't
streaming.
look down.
It just does weird stuff. Regardless. Streaming probably does add to it though. It shouldn't. Crap, I can't get back over there. I have to be careful here.
Some reason.
You know, I parried both of those
Renato
hits.
remembered a fairy tale his mother had told him. About a
Seriously.
land where only the apes talked. Animals went around without clothes.
Nah, come through that unscathed. That's cool. Alright, I need 2 more of those windies. Windy, windy, windy. Yep. I'm just gonna throw all these dudes in the holes. Whoa, I just totally stopped right there.
Want a hookup?
Forgot about that guy. And the crates are gone. Curious. Spin.
There was an engraving. Maximum capacity, 130 people.
Whoa. Hey, now I can open that. First, let me see what's here. Oh. So that puts you down there, maybe? I don't know.
That is a very cool sword, thought Renato. No, seriously. He couldn't feel his paw anymore.
Ori.
Renato was making himself dizzy. Fun!
Let me see, I might as well try this. It's force of habit to just move out of the way instead of trying to parry.
As Renato stopped to sniff the wind, Zenobia came up, still mad. Did you really think
sniffed
you
his
could
bum.
talk me into betraying my father? Oh yeah, sure. That was exactly my plan. Then why aren't you even talking to me? Because I've never talked you into anything in my life. They're gonna court-martial you for letting me go. He caught a whiff of the Farfarer. Wet rope, tar, and a cask of Scoble ale he'd spilt last year. It was that way.
I guess I'll keep the ice sword out. I didn't need those anyway. I think I'll be fine without that 1 HP. It's kind of like you have to give an indie studio a pass for like some of the technical glitches. I'm sure they don't have like a huge team of testers.
Renato's paws were getting numb. Calaveras really didn't want company, did he?
Jeez. I'm gonna get tired of spinning.
Renato wondered if he should have taken Zenobia to the rebel base for real. Maybe she wasn't playing him after all. After the bleak talk about the Emperor's dark secret, he was regretting his suspicion. Sharp? Check. Pointy? Check. Flexible? Check. What else do you need in a sword?
No secrets here. So I did miss.
Hero wall. Hero sword. Ice wall. Ice cube.
I wonder if that only refills while you have it equipped. Probably. Now that's something I've never seen. I don't know why that's there.
Renato smash. Who are these guys? They seem to make everyone else harder to kill.
Oh shit.
down.
Oh shit. I noticed that explosion far too late. Long-awaited treasure.
A gem of power. You didn't find those every day.
Oh, cool. That was a good detour.
Sure enough, the Farfarer had crashed in some rocks. There was no sign of Lupino. Zenobia caught up. All that kid stuff in Swordfu School. Look, that's the past. We're adults now. We have duties to other people. We have destinies. What are you talking about? And you are the most arrogant, slow-witted, light-fingered, mercenary, immoral, reckless. Run away with me, said Reynardo, and he realized he meant it. Just like that, she demanded. I will, if you will. So, she kissed him. And it was the best kiss he'd ever had. They held hands as they boarded the Farfarer. Reynardo felt light-hearted, like the winds that were playing the rigging like a balalaika. But Lupino, I need to get back to Lupino, he said, suddenly realizing he could have been captured. A prisoner. He's not. How'd you know? He saw something in her eyes he didn't understand. He fell, didn't he? Into the abyss. She looked away. Wouldn't answer. But then a bolt smashed through the Farfarer's keel. The broken ship plummeted out of the clouds.
Why they show us getting thrown off the boat animation again? Infinite
Reynardo
load time
picked
seemed to
himself
only
off the
happen
deck.
at the beginning.
They were alive. We have to get to my private ship, she said. Do you trust me? I guess I must, he said. You go on ahead. Clear the path, she said. I can't kill my own soldiers. He wanted to say that he didn't trust her, that he had no idea what he was getting into. But he had no choice, did he? He was following his heart. That's what it means to be a hero. You had to follow your heart.
Kinda don't need that. Energy on kill would be nice. Finally make that last sword.
This sword from the mystical east could make time itself slow for you.
Kinda don't see a need for this, but I'll check it out anyway. Oh, they're all on the same energy meter. That's good to know. Again, I just got these to open doors. I think I'm just gonna focus on this one. far as levels goes. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's notice the little thing in the top right. Shows you how much essence and stuff you have. Fight. Oop. Right on cue.
Ah, the road less traveled, thought Reynardo. How intriguing.
And you know, I haven't seen one of these in a while. But I haven't leveled up in a while either. I'm at 80 distance? That's kind of cool, actually. Let's see. So you have to get... Oh. You gotta get 30 hits for it to even work. How are you even gonna get to 30 hits? I'm just not gonna learn anything right now.
Not everyone knew how to use magical gems. Of course, not everyone had magical gem gauntlets like he did.
Oh, what the fuck? Just a second. Stuff always gotta happen at the same time. Suspicious account activity. Alright, things are fixed now. I guess it has something to do with how PlayStation automatically posts links, like when you stream and stuff.
Think of all the artisans he was creating employment for. Truly, he was a job creator.
So how the hell do I get out of here? Oh. Same stage, but different.
They paused to catch their breath.
Okay.
It was strange to be so close to her. What are you thinking? He asked. I'm trying very hard not to think. Me too, he said. Up ahead, he could see the thin silver of Zenobia's personal ship.
I never heard a dude ask a girl, what is she thinking?
They would leave all this behind. Once you try it, you're hooked.
Yeah, definitely gonna learn the sword hill thing. It's really the only one I felt like.
What did you do if one of these platforms stalled?
Man, I jumped way before that happened. Now my hook's not working. They could have just toned down the graphics a little bit, and the gameplay would have been so much smoother. I mean, for an overhead, isometric type game, you kind of don't need to have all the bells and whistles on. Especially if you're an indie studio. it's nice when everything works right. But every once in a while, there's that time where you somehow miss like 2 parries
As
in
they
a row and
reached
you're
her
dead.
ship, Renato suddenly felt a sharp pain in his stomach. He was surprised to see a crossbow bolt sticking out of it.
Man,
I was gonna lead the Empire to our secret base, said Lapino.
the achievement
But no,
just
you
gave
had to
away
screw up my
which is
plan
what
because
happens
you
right
still
now.
got a thing for her.
Renato stared at Zenobia. The kiss. Was it real? She said, with a look of indescribable sorrow. She gestured and said an arcane word, and Lapino went flying into the abyss, screaming, "I'm telling your father!" Then she knelt down to cradle his head, and her paws felt very soft and warm. Renato stared at the book. He was still alive. Again. And still only flying away from burning Ubar. Had he lived that adventure? Or only dreamt it? Had he really died? It felt so real, not like a dream at all. And he'd lost again. Oh, he hated that. But he had made different choices. And he'd lost in a different way. It was the book, wasn't it? Oracles showed you your destiny. But this was showing him different ways he could die miserably. Thanks a bunch, book, he thought. But these were destinies that he did not have to fulfill. But he'd learn another true thing. Lapino was a traitor. Renato had suspected there was something wrong with the Mad Rabbit. But now he knew there was malice behind his goofiness.
Yep. But yeah, the achievement basically just tells you that the rabbit kills him. It's like, what the fuck? So that storyline is probably not worth going through. But look how many there are. So all these are most likely involving the rabbit betraying him. All these are with the chick. And this one's that freaking thing that you can get. Or is it this one? I don't know. Maybe one of these is just an unknown. No, wait. One of them was for some kind of gadget that somebody made, and the other one's for some artifact, I think.
But that meant there must be a destiny where he survived and won, right? Otherwise, what was the point? And with that, the book's pages fluttered back once more to the beginning, and the clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Or so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals. Could this be where the Iblis Stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Renato. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course.
Old friend, huh?
Renato had a pretty strong
Fuck that guy.
suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Yeah, not going that way.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces. What could have brought them to light? This Emperor, Isengrim III, had once been kind, but he'd gone mad. And now he was conducting secret, obscene rituals to bring back the lost gods. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the earth? It was more than Renato could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it.
Who wouldn't? The temptation to use it would be too great for any man.
As he set foot on the island, Bernardo couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lupino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? Bernardo felt oddly thirsty, come to think of it. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Bernardo never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it? It was time to make a new sword.
Notice how the trees don't sway in the breeze. That's one corner they cut, and I'm glad about it. Although if they had just turned off the shadows, or, you know, lowered the resolution on them, then they could have had that happen. But, oh well. Could have done without the screen filter as well. Well, that looked so weird to me just now. It was sideways, right? Or was it just me tripping? Okay, it automatically went up. Yep. Alright. But yeah, it was showing a sword from the side, I'm pretty sure.
His trusty old sword was always a little better when he sharpened it.
Oh, now I need to find a level up thing. Also, now that I have all the swords, I probably will have to go back and play some of the rabbit levels. These guys again.
Hey, how do you tell if someone's far away? Or just really small?
Oh.
The people who had built this castle, did they even know what monstrous weapon lay hidden within their walls? The Sky Ripper could destroy anything it touched, or so the legend said. As the Transcendent Emperor had fought the Lost Gods, thousands of thousands had died. But Bernardo had been through wars. The only merciful war was a short one.
I'm sorry. Was that your shield?
That had been his mistake before, trusting his old friend Lupino, who'd been through so many battles with him and shed so many heartaches, who he'd rescued so many times. What was up with that guy anyway? I wonder what happens if I go that way.
Treasure chest, hopefully. It's the whole reason I made these damn swords.
Everybody knew you shouldn't trust a raven further than you could throw them. But forgot that. There was a cat in this one. And something useful.
Oh wait. Energy on kill would make him pretty unstoppable, I think. What? Another one?
I think this is yours, said Reynardo. But he couldn't hear his enemy's answer.
What can they possibly do now? Why that door blocked off? Let me see if there's anything back here, because yeah, there is. And this is where I was at before, right? Yep, yep. Wait, I need to go in here. That could have been worse. I still wonder if I'm even on the right path.
You blinked.
I should be turning back around. Nope. So shiny. Damn, that one blew up way faster than usual. Thought I killed him.
His mother,
What the fuck?
wave his sword around at home. He guessed he was still compensating for that.
Why did that miss? That made no sense. Let me see what these levers do. This old thing.
Give me a lever, said Archimedes, and I shall open a gate.
I'm going back to that door. I'm not even sure if I'm like on the regular path now or still on a secret path or what. Because I've been through like 2 magic doors. And now it's the 3rd one.
It was time for a little exploration.
Magic door inside a magic door. Here, man.
Already Renato knew more than he ever had. But about what?
Cool thing is when you find a higher level gem, it automatically upgrades it if you have it equipped.
If they didn't want their things broken, they really ought to make them stronger.
Okay, back where I was. So technically I probably could have just went around the map. Alright, I don't know where I'm at. Tier 3, what do we got? Hook does damage on enemies. Could do without that. Could do without that. Don't even use that. So I'll go for this. Oh yeah, I was saving up so I could get this to 3 because it seemed like 30 hits, 20 hits was ridiculous. Alright, now let's go back, go to that hook area. There it is. Now how the Alright, so that's why the hook power-up's there, I guess. Whatever.
There it was. Skyripper's armature.
I was just chilling
The
right
stuff
there.
that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Skyripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
Staying away from her and grabbing
It was a no-brainer. He'd sacrificed his old friend
Why is that
Lupino to
red?
get the armature.
and he's gonna
And
die.
the armature was useless by itself, only a series of coils and wheels. War demanded sacrifices, and he would make more before the end. He would have to choose the greatest good, no matter how much it cost him. Zenobia. Well, he would see her sooner or later, across a battlefield or a sword's point before all this was over. He was sure of that. The power was in the core. Obviously, he had to get the core.
That dialogue made no sense because Now he knows that the rabbit's a traitor, so he knows he's fine. He didn't really sacrifice anybody. Now, if I did this before he knew that, then yeah, that would make sense. I guess they didn't record two separate dialogues for that instance or whatever.
He looked up at the old trees around him. They were so big and so old. They'd been there before he was born, and they'd be there after he'd passed into legend.
What the fuck? He's just gonna
Was
follow
he
him around?
confronting his own unimportance? What had got into him? He was no philosopher. Anyway, who cares? He was plenty important. He was a hero, and soon he'd prove it. Ah, Zenobia. Now that he knew she still loved him, he wanted to go back to her. But that hadn't worked out, had it? Maybe it was time to find the core of the Sky Ripper.
Don't mind if I do. It's probably the way out.
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
Very elaborate fart jokes.
Where did that go to?
Oh, keep trying to hit it.
There were fewer and fewer trees. There were only these huge crystalline growths. Had those been here before? He no longer heard birds except for the feverish cawing of the ravens when they attacked. He couldn't smell the small animals of the forest. The mice, and rabbits. Where had they gone? He was getting hungry too. This was an unhealthy place to be.
How the fuck are you supposed to block that? Yeah, unlike Batman, they don't wait for you to attack.
The 20-sided core made him feel physically sick. Once he had sneaked into a temple of the dark arts, and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there. This felt like that. As quick as he could, he wrangled the icosahedron into the armature. The wheels began to spin, then glow. The sick feeling quickly spun away. Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus. Maybe Lapino wasn't such a good friend. Yeah. That made him feel better. He carried his prize back to the Farfarer. Now, he had to make his next move. There was a key Imperial outpost on the Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon, he could use it to wreak havoc on the enemy. And if it wasn't, well, better to know that before the final battle. But maybe he should show it to some scientists first. There was an observatory on the Nexus. Maybe he should go there before he fired it.
Those scientists look a lot like frogs, so fuck it.
Renato had never been much of a student. At Swordfu School, he'd never read the books, just looked at the pictures. I'm Zenobia. But weapons, he understood. His gut told him that the Skyripper would work great. He would use it to take out the Imperial outpost. And what's the worst that could happen? The thing wouldn't work, and then he'd take it to the scientists. Right? Exactly.
I'm pretty sure it'll just blow up, but we'll see. I figure the king's an evil frog, so maybe the scientists are evil too. He doesn't really seem to have any friends. Like, both people who he thought were friends both killed him, so yeah. I was right in my initial
As he
not
set
trusting
out down the
people thing.
path, Renato wondered why the parts of the Skyripper had only surfaced now, thousands of years after the Transcendent Emperor had discarded it. This Emperor, Isengrim III, had performed terrible, bloodthirsty rituals to invoke the lost gods. Perhaps that was bringing up lost artifacts. How perfect, then, that the Skyripper would reappear to be his destruction.
He felt like Tarzan.
Why did that not rip away? I need to find a workbench. Actually, I don't. Just need to know what.
Why would anyone put his slinky collection in a strongbox, thought Renato. Are they magic slinkies? Oh, there was something else.
I didn't level up.
These platforms were great. Renato wanted one for his house.
I am tempted to run up and down those stairs.
Renato loved to improve his gear.
It's like the rocks fall off for no reason at all. Just for effect.
He was tired of slaughtering ravens. Maybe it was time to test out the new weapon. He turned a knob on the Skyripper. It made strange, mechanical noises. The wheels spun faster. It began to hum.
The Skyripper was following his every step. At least it acknowledged him as the master. But there was no trigger. How was he supposed to fire it? Fire, he said. Nothing happened. Well, maybe it just needed to warm up. After all, it hadn't been fired in thousands of years.
Probably should try to find an
Where was a
instruction.
workbench when you needed one? Oh, never mind.
10% sword energy, huh? Nah, fuck it. Oh yeah, the other swords. Level one of them up. It doesn't really matter which one.
More fire? Yes, please.
Oh, it does. Damn. Nah.
The Sky Ripper was making a whining noise now, and its wheels were spinning so fast he could no longer see them.
Renato had a thought. Please? He asked. The Sky Ripper began to glow. Boom! The outpost burst into flame.
Ravens flapped out screaming, wings on fire. The base was his. The far speaker toad came hopping out.
Renato!
It croaked, sounding like a toad version of Zenobia.
Don't use the Sky Ripper! It will destroy the world!
Yeah, sure it will, cracked Renato. Pull the other one.
If you don't trust me, go see Calaveras.
That sounded sensible. Why did she always have to sound sensible all the time? Oh, it was infuriating.
Of course she would say that. He was supposed to hurry and bring the Sky Ripper to the Council so the rebels could actually win the war. But what if she was right? Damn it.
Again, he looks like a frog, and she did kill him before.
Just this once, he would not let Zenobia get into his head with her logic and her wisdom and her appeals to reason. He was a fox. He'd go with his instincts, and it would all work out like it always did. Oh, he was sounding like a reckless idiot, even to himself. But if there was one thing Renato could never bring himself to do, it was turn back on a decision he'd made.
Time to blow up the world. Who needs a planet to live on anyway? Plus, they're all furries, so, I mean, hey, no big loss.
Imperials were flapping and cawing all around the ruins. They must be panicking with rumors flying of the superweapon. Maybe they hoped to find and destroy the base before he could put the Sky Ripper into action. The Sky Ripper was whining and heating up. It would be time to use that energy soon.
I wonder what makes the humanoid ravens not end up like as regular ravens. Then it's like cat people have pet cats. How?
Well, they really needed to redecorate anyway.
Well, I guess if you really think about it, they could have evolved differently, so that's why there's two versions. And yeah, just one version just never went extinct. Can I go back? Yeah, good. Yeah, that makes sense if you're gonna have a world with a bunch of the same type of animals, but you know, One's humanoid and one isn't. I guess I could learn that. Or I could learn this.
Haven't you always wanted to do that?
And in order for that combo skill to really work, you must have to kill, or must have to go through like a lot of the game in order for you not to kill him in 2 or 3 hits.
He was
Like, they
getting
do get
nowhere
stronger, but
fast.
especially with the Sky Ripper, it's like you're never gonna get the combo meter up.
Renato had never had a super weapon before. He'd single-handedly taken down an Imperial base. He felt good. He'd resisted all the distractions that were thrown in his path. He couldn't wait to attack the enemy fleet. Renato wondered if his future self had commissioned these poles.
Yeah, the energy while fighting is definitely worth it.
The mysterious sword from the east made you so fast you could catch a fly with your chopsticks. If that's what you really wanted.
It's like they're dancing. Yeah. Not want to pull that one, but that was dope. Nice. Okay. All the way back out then. I like when I can see ahead a little bit. No fight. Alright then. Damn, this one's really glowing.
What was Zenobia talking about? This was a fantastic weapon. Ravens burst into flames with just a touch of its killer beam. He was tempted to leave it on all the time, but he didn't want to accidentally slice off some council toad's head or tongue. She'd been trying to distract him. Well, this time, no one was going to distract him.
This was open in the last story. But since he blew up the base, I guess that's the destruction from
Imagine if you built a house of one of these
whatever the
things.
hell it's called.
Oh, that would be amazing. It would be like having a boat.
See, got the combo up to 16. is not going to get much higher than that. Hey. Trying to attack. Damn it.
This chest contained blank passports from 15 countries. And something useful.
I still got hit by that explosion. It's like the dash went nowhere. It's like you naturally want to try to climb that ladder, but you can't in this game. There really no need to anyway. Unless you can read books. Wouldn't it be cool if you could read books in a game called Story School?
Say goodnight, Gracie, said Renato, wondering who Gracie was.
Do these things even give you XP? Find out on the next Ronaldo.
The long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
That was awesome!
No. I thought it had blown up already. Do they ever find it weird that doors open after you kill a bunch of people? Like the door just knows they're dead.
You never knew where the road would take you, thought Renato.
Cutscene.
As he headed towards the council chamber, Renato felt everyone watching him.
You've saved the rebellion, said the council speaker. Frankly, we were afraid you'd turn aside to see that idiot Lapino.
Not bloody likely, Renato told them, feeling he was maybe being a bit harsh on the poor mad rabbit.
If you never make sacrifices, he said, you're probably not doing the right thing. The speaker nodded. Are you ready to lead the charge? Let's roll, he said, with grim satisfaction. Renato set sail for the fleet. The Sky Ripper had lost its wine. It was humming now, as if it had taken some time to seat properly. He had always been irresponsible. This time, he'd done the right thing, made the hard decisions. He was a real hero. He hadn't let himself be distracted by old friends or old lovers turned enemies. Finally, he could be proud of himself.
I was expecting it just to be a cutscene, but maybe I'll actually get to play. Oh, it's gonna be on the boats and hooking across a bit. Or not.
He was ready. So was Sky Ripper. The Sky Ripper had a will of its own. It picked out its own targets and set them on fire.
This was going to be a short battle. He would set the ships on fire if he didn't need them to get to the Emperor. And he wondered if he'd see Zenobia, or if she'd flee. Wouldn't she be proud of him? At least, a bit of respect. He'd become an all-conquering hero.
I don't think you really need the attack speed, man.
There was a pleasant breeze coming through that door. Had it been closed before?
It's a good thing these levels are randomized a little bit. I mean, like, just the setup of the levels. But it is noticeable that there aren't that many. Huh, that's annoying. Back on the boats anyway.
There was a parchment on a signpost. It was from her.
Every time you fire, you risk the destruction of the universe. That's insane. We surrender. A trick? Maybe she really believed it. He could hear horns blaring the retreat. Maybe it was true. Maybe they had one.
That was kind of cool. Got an achievement for yanking a bomb into the enemy. Wow, it took that much magic to heal 1 HP.
This was definitely better than pulling yourself up in a bucket.
Oh. Okay. Wait, isn't this how I got over here? Whatever. That's like the most hits I've ever done on a scene. Got hit more than usual there. What the fuck is the camera doing?
And there was Zenobia,
Oh.
wearing the white robes of surrender. She came and kneeled before him. Why didn't you listen to me? I was trying to save you too. You're the enemy, he said. I was never your enemy, Renato.
Except for that time when she
He
killed him.
realized, not for the first time, how much she loved him.
Then she
Wasn't enough
spoke
to kill him.
a terrible word and made a gesture with her hand. She stopped moving, covered in frost, and he wondered why she'd frozen herself. Then the Sky Ripper froze, and then, for a moment, he felt very cold and discovered that he couldn't move. The next
trust
thing he knew, the sun was a giant, monstrously red. It took up half the sky, and he was in a parched red desert. And then he was on fire.
Killed him
And
again.
just like that,
See?
He
Can't
was
trust her.
alive again, and back on the Farfarer, still fleeing burning Ubar. The book was still open before him. So, the book was a portal. It took you to the future, when your destinies would branch. He had failed and died 3 times, and he hadn't learned anything new this time. He'd done the same thing twice, yet expected a different outcome.
That was the first time I did that. Well,
But he was
that's enough
starting
for
to
today.
feel like he was getting the hang of this. There was a way through to victory. He could feel it. He just had to keep running the path of destinies. With that, the book fluttered back to the beginning, and he fell into it. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Or so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Emperor had brought the Sky Ripper pieces up out of ancient burial by his obscene rituals.
I'll go there first.
Could this be where the Iblis Stone was hidden? Someone better get it before he does, thought Renato. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course,
Can't skip
Renato
this
had a
part.
pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
Like, this is the only one I haven't explored at all, so...
The island was windswept desert. No one went there except
the hell?
ostriches and ostrich hunters. The Iblis Stone. It sounded
Enemies,
ominous.
at least.
It sounded powerful. If the Emperor was searching for it, it must be dangerous. And so, Bernardo went ostrich hunting.
Guess there's a few more environments to check out.
Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls,
A ruby that drank blood. A jewel only a righteous man could give away.
Were all these things the Iblis Stone? Long hidden in a buried temple? Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now? Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals?
Alright. I will continue again another day.